888. Hello, I am Magical Shante 888. Thank you for joining me. I do apologize in advance for the quality. As I mentioned, I ran out of space on my phone. I'm in the process of trying to get more space. So bear with me. I'm using my laptop, my secondary laptop, because my other laptop, my kids broke. So I'm using my other laptop, and the quality on this one's not even as good as the other one. Like this one, I think I don't know how old it is, but so it doesn't look all that great. So just bear with me, do the best that you can. I know it's lagging a little bit. Just stick with me. Let's get through this message, okay? So I just wanted to come through with lessons learned of 2022. I also did a video like this last year. If I can link it in here, then I will. I thought I was linking some stuff on one of my videos that I did on my laptop, but anyways, I could ramble on about that. And I do want to make sure that I don't ramble so much on this video. And sorry if I'm touching my hair. If you're interested in this wig, this is a synthetic slash human hair blend by Sensational Butter Lace. It's 32 inches. It's real long. But I love it. It's giving what Beyonce slash Cher vibes. Like, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I just wanted something long and luxurious to bring in the New Year's to represent how long I want my money to be, honey. Anyways, so let's get into this message or this topic today, which is things learned in 2022. Again, ignore the fact that I keep on touching my hair. It's just because it's really long and it's like I can't help but to touch it. It is really soft. Anyways, all right. Things learned in 2022. So, the first thing that I learned in 2022, and if you want to time around when I learned this lesson, it was around summertime as the kids were going back into school. I had some things occur and I had some things change abruptly, impacting my children emotionally and everything. So it just it was hard for them. It was a change that none of us were prepared for, none of us were expecting, but we ended up having to go through with it. So, there we were. And we went through the change. And it just happened. So, and that was just one thing. There were several things. And if I'm looking down, it's because I have my book, my notes, so that way I don't go left rambling. Um, so basically, I learned that sometimes things just don't work out, but it's okay. As I mentioned, I had a few of these things occur that ultimately led to some now minor inconveniences. I say minor because there are some changes that did happen to where I had to change some major things, kind of, and it impacted how I can work and, the hours that I can work and kind of where I work. And it impacted quite a few things. It really did. Um, all in all, I had to strategize to implement some new things, which really came out to be successful. So, I won't even say story time, but basically, the two things that I experienced were the first thing was just before school was about to start, I ended up having to change schools for my kids, which wasn't a huge deal because it was closer to me, but it's not a regular like public school to where they have a regular bus. So they have to be dropped off and picked up in different locations, which lately I've opted to just pick them up and drop them off from school. But, sometimes there's times when I'm not able to pick them up. So they would ride the bus, but their bus is dropped off in a public place. It's not just a regular, you know, bus stop. So I have to make sure that I'm there. And so with me switching schools, the way that they were able to get picked up from school before, they were with their cousins and they were able to just all be picked up. But now it's on me, which is fine. That's my responsibility. But that also turned into me having to resign from my job because my now husband is in the military and he was helping me with getting them picked up and all that, but he left. He's on his mission, um, and he's not in town. So it was back on me. And so I had to try to get with my job and see, hey, can you guys just adjust my schedule for a couple hours? They were unable to, therefore I had to resign. I did not want to have to do that because I really liked that job and the money was great. Weekly pay, I mean, like I really enjoyed working there and I was learning, a lot and actually doing very well. Actually doing very freaking well. Like anybody who works in call centers and stuff, your calls are graded. My point average was like 96 something. Like maybe I'm hyping it, maybe 94, but it was high, mid to high 90s. So I had a very good, like I was doing very well at my job. So much so that they wanted me to train to learn a different department. Now I was really kind of thinking like, okay, if y'all are going to train me, am I going to get paid more? Probably not. But anyways, I digress. I learned that basically sometimes things just don't work out. Like I had two major situations occur. I won't say necessarily back to back, but like it impacted a lot. It impacted my year a lot. Like I've not been working since that situation occurred, and I ended up having to quit my job. And so now I'm looking to get back into working and stuff, and that I will be doing. Let me see if I can. Yeah. And that I will be doing here in the next couple of days. I'm going back to work, and that's a whole nother thing. Like, I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to kind of connecting with people, and it's doing something that um, I first entered into the job, you know, into what is it, the job field, whatever. It was my first job, which is taking care of children. I'm taking a step back, coming out of customer service, and going back to that. And I'm gonna see how that works for me. If it's gonna work for me, honestly, I really want to be my own boss, but I know that you know, and that's actually on my list too. But another thing that I learned is that I have a slight bit of entitlement. Let me explain. It sounds harsh and it sounds unappealing of sorts, and you would think like, well, what do you mean? Well, so just by certain experiences with certain family members really close to me and even some that are not as close to me, but I came to this conclusion because I've had a lot of shit happen in my life that was not in my control. Um, a lot of trauma and uh, to not even to be dramatic, like tragedy, happened in my life, and I've always been fortunate enough to have people be there to help me through those tragedies, to assist me with the things that I need throughout that tragedy. Um, I've had help with that. And so because of that, sometimes in my brain, like, and it's not something that I'll voice outside, and it might be it might be a normal human thing, or but I just found like, I don't know if I really like that I was thinking that, or that I felt that way, or that at that point I was thinking that. Also, without judging myself, because I didn't know any better. I was in a survival state. And so sometimes when you are in a place of you're trying to survive, um when people do come to help you, it does kind of become a sense of title and entitlement. So in other words, like let's say someone gets something or they become famous or whatever, and you're thinking, oh yeah, that's my boy, so he's gonna put me on because, I'm his boy. That's kind of entitlement, because honestly, nobody owes you shit. And I had to come to that conclusion. Like, and it wasn't even really any situation in particular that I can put my finger on. It was just me thinking about situations that I had experienced, and different experiences with people that, are close to me, and just different things that I just don't want to be in a place of thinking that somebody owes me anything, because at the end of the day, nobody owes me anything. Anything that I want, I have to get up and go work for. You know what I mean? Just as everyone else does. So I just kind of snapped out of that and realized, hey, like that might not be a great place to be. Um, but again, like I said, not doing my best to not judge myself for even having that feeling after realizing everything that I've experienced. Um, I've now been in therapy. Next month will make a year. I would say that it's been off and on, but it's really been kind of consistent. I did have to stop after, I think it was like October, but then I was able to switch over and I have a new therapist, and um, I can't compare either therapist, because the therapist that I had before, I really, really liked her, and she understood my spiritual practices, and she had her own spiritual practices that were similar to mine, so we related on that. Um, I even had a few times where I discussed cards that I pulled for myself, and we went through each of those and what those meant for myself. And it was a different type of therapy, and it was almost a deeper level, like an inner layer of myself that I shared with my therapist. So that's something that I'm really proud of, that I've been able to say I've been consistent with nonetheless. I've done that. I don't even know why and how I got on that, but anyways. So the next thing that I learned, which kind of piggybacks off of the fact that I didn't really want to go back to work. I'm also sorry, change of subject, but talking about the wig that I have on. Sorry if I'm all over the place. It does shed a lot. Like I'm pulling the hair as I'm like just running my fingers through it. It's just shedding. So if you do happen to get this lace front, it's good to wear, like, if you have an event or you're going somewhere. I got mine just to be cute. I just wanted to be a bad bitch with some long hair. And that's what I did. So here I am. Anyways, it's shedding and I can't help but to just like pull the hair out. I can't help it. Um I'm gonna have hairballs everywhere. Anyways, um, so the next thing that I learned was that I value freedom of time, and I'm learning to incorporate ways to free up more time for myself, to focus on things that I enjoy, my passion projects. I do like painting. I like singing, even though I do karaoke, but I do love music, and I would love to be able to pursue that, you know, either on the side or I'm not trying to be no star. I'm not trying to be famous. Music is my thing, and it's been my thing since I was maybe like 6 years old, maybe younger than that. I've always loved to dance, but I really love music. It's so cleansing. Like there's music for everything, every emotion that you feel, happy, sad, you feel like being on some thought shit. I mean, whatever. There's music for everybody, and that's the beauty of music. Um, and I would love to be able to have more time to be able to create music, even if it's like karaoke, but just kind of like covers, you know. I would love to be able to have the time to do that, because it really is fulfilling for me. It's soul fulfilling. Um, it makes my soul full. It does. Um, yeah. So I did learn that I enjoy freedom of time as I get older, and I have my children have different needs. Um, Literally, like, part of my anxiety about even getting a job was just the fact that one of my children has moderate to severe asthma, and he's always having flare ups, to where I have to take him either to urgent care or he has to be off or out of daycare. And I have to be home giving him a treatment every couple hours or so, or whatever the case is. Like, I have to be able to take care of him, and I don't like the idea of having to have a job tell me that my time is limited with my child and that I can't take them to the doctor, or I'm going to get a write up for, taking my child to the doctor. It's that kind of shit that really starts to get me, and it bothers me, and it's always bothered me. And it's really only been an issue since I've worked customer service jobs. Um, but also the difference is that I didn't have three children when I was working at daycares before. I had maybe one or two, and that there's a huge difference, in that. So I have different needs. My child, you know, I'm not gonna call him. He just has mild to moderate. I won't even say mild. It's pretty moderate asthma, and whenever he has his flare ups, it's game over for everybody. Because he has a fever. It's like a cold, and it for him, colds and anything respiratory is extreme, and it's downtime for me. Like, I have to be off work. It just is what it is, because I can't take him to daycare. If he goes to school, I can't take him to school. I have to be off, And if his dad is not having off time, it's me. I can't take him to his grandma's. Both of his grandmothers work. So it's me. And that's fine. But I realized with all of that, it's important for me to be able to have freedom of time, so that way I don't have to tell somebody, hey, I'm not going to be able to work today because my child's sick, versus when I become my own boss. Like, I don't have that problem. I can tell my partner, my what is it, what do you call, basically the person that I'm doing my business with, my partner, business partner, that, hey, I'm going to be off for a couple days. Like, I can take the evenings, to check on whatever it is that we need to check on, inventory or whatever, or go check on the business or whatever. Like, I can do that. If you don't mind taking the morning, because I have to take so and so to, just being able to do that is like, I just want the freedom to be able to do that. But I also recognize that it's going to take time, and that I have to put work into what it is that I want to create to even be able to get there, to have that life of leisure and luxury. Um, but also understanding that in order to get there, it doesn't always take you doing back breaking labor to do so. And I claim that for myself and for anybody else watching this video, that 2023 and beyond, like, our hands are done with being, uh, worked to the bone. We're done. We're done. We do what we need to do, and we do it with excellence. But as far as putting in extra effort and doing, like, no, it ain't me. It ain't me. Okay. So, the fourth thing that I learned, and I touched a little bit on this on one of my more recent videos. I think it was the one, like, about crazy people. Okay. And my short also. Um, the fourth thing that I learned is that not everyone wants to be helped. Some people are beyond your help. You'll eventually have to be okay with that. And I may have touched on that last year. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can link it. I kind of need to go back and look at that video and compare to this year and see if there's any differences in the lessons. I do feel like they are different, because I feel like I see things a little bit differently. Um, and maybe I don't. I don't know. I'm not here to try to prove anything to anybody. But yeah, it sucks when it's somebody that you do actually want to help. Um, but they are too blinded by things that hurt them, trauma, experiences, to be able to even notice that you are trying to help them in a positive way and not trying to manipulate them, not trying to get over on them, not like, it takes a certain type of person to recognize that and not take offense to it and not think that you're trying to tell them what to do. You know what I mean? But the more that I stay in my lane and the more that I recognize people's traumas and empathize with how they may deal with them, I can take myself out of the equation and I just look at it as what it is. I tried to help, but if you don't want the help, excuse that. I think my window's open and I live close to the street. Anywho, um, so yeah, there's that. And then the fifth and final thing, among many things already not listed, um, is that I'm okay with not being labeled nice. Okay. Why? Because I'm not nice. Okay. Um, I embrace being sure of who it is that I am and who it is that I say that I am. Um, and if that's a bitch, then so be it. You know what I mean? I worked hard through the things that I have experienced, to see the lessons and to be able to work through those things and to not be bound by those things. Um, it takes another level of work because it's like, yeah, you go through so many different stages of it, depending on what it is. If it's something that happened to you, you deal with grief, you deal with feeling judged, you deal with anger, and those things can come up at any given time, at anything that triggers you, But being aware is the key on how you get through those things and how quickly you are able to navigate through those things, because when you have awareness, that's the main ingredient in it all. Because when you have awareness, you can say, okay, A, B, C is what led me to this trigger. This is why I went the fuck off the way that I went off. And I do also recognize and acknowledge that the way that I handled it may not have been the best way, but not judging myself for how I handled it, um, I dealt with it the best way that I knew how at that time. And having enough wherewithal to recognize, if I need to apologize to somebody because I said something or did something that was out of character or that was not, you know, cool to other people, that I care about, then I'm willing to apologize. But a lot of people don't ever even get to that point. They don't even have the level of awareness to even recognize I may have said something or did something to offend somebody, so I may need to apologize without coming back, trying to apologize and then gaslighting the person to make them think that, well, I'm sorry, but not really. So you should have kept your fucking apology. Anyways, because I could go on about that. But basically, as I stated, I'm okay with not being labeled nice because I'm not. And it took me a long time to get to this point. I used to always say, well, I'm nice, I'm this, I'm that. No, I'm not nice. I'm not. And it does not mean that I'm not a sweet, caring, compassionate, and pleasant person to be around, because almost anybody that would ask about me, would likely, and I'm talking like random people, like if you were to do is, I don't know, I don't give a fuck, but like basically my appearance is pleasant and I have manners when I speak to people. I speak with them with respect. I'm all of those things, but at the same time I'm learning that it's okay to stand your ground. You don't have to curse and get out of character by reading somebody. Like, you can let them know, hey, this was not acceptable, i.e., per my last email. I said what I said. That. And so I feel like at 33 years old, like I'm coming into this place and I love it here. I love it here. I don't ever want to go home. I'm stamping. My flag is there and I'm here. Um, as I mentioned, I worked hard through my lessons of being nice and not speaking up. I'm looking at my book, that's why I'm looking down. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not pleasant and kind and gentle. It just means I'm not to be played with, and I'm not also going to play with you. I'm going to say what it is that needs to be said, how it needs to be said, whether or not you receive it or you like the way that I said it. I do my best to be tactful, especially in professional settings. Um, that's not ever an issue. Now with my family and my husband, that's another story. No, I'm just playing. I'm working on being more tactful with that too, because everybody deserves to be treated, with respect, and to be, who doesn't deserve that? Um, all in all, it also means saying no if I don't want to do something, but also saying yes when I do. Just knowing myself enough to know my own boundaries and the boundaries that what is the word? Why can I not think? The words, the words, the boundaries that I set out for myself, also setting those same standards for others. Um, all in all, it's just main character vibes, all 2023 and beyond. Um, because I deserve it, right? Who doesn't deserve it? Um, there are lots of other lessons that I've learned, but these are the main five that I could like think, enough to write about. I have been meaning to do this video again. I know that the quality is not that great, but I am going to upload this and hopefully there's no issues. I'm going to seek that there will not be any. Let me see, is there anything else I need to get into? I'm thinking about doing a money moves video. I'm just looking at my planner, my little book here that I got. You'll never guess where I got it. Five Below. It's really cute. Really cute. $5. You just can't beat it. You really can't. $5 for this little planner. And it's large enough for you to write a lot of stuff. Like I'm using it as a planner, but also just to jot down my thoughts and stuff, Yeah, this is my planner. But I am probably going to do a some sort of video. I've done a few videos, honestly, but because I don't have space on my phone, like it was tripping, so I have to probably upload them somewhere and then just go from there. But I do think that I am going to go ahead and do a couple of videos tonight. I am kid free tonight, so notice notice the ambiance. It's so calm and quiet and chill and relaxed. So I am vibing out tonight. This is why I'm able to get this video done. I'm so happy and so grateful. And I want to speak lots of love, health, wealth, abundance, beauty, wisdom, kindness, all of the great things, all of the things onto you, your family, your friends for 2023 because we deserve it. We've worked hard. We're here. We've made it. It is December 30th, 2022, and we're closing out this year with a bang. It is going to be amazing next year. Such amazing things coming, and I look forward to them. Um, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have made it through this year and to even have lessons to come and share. with those who do watch. And yeah, I'm grateful. I'm closing this out now. I'm Magical Shante 888. I thank you so much for watching, and I will check you in the next one. Peace.